You welcome back. Your favorite cousins are in session. Your favorite duo is back in action. I am your host, Cam Silver.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
Yes, sir. And Kyle, this had nothing to do with all the stuff that happened on the field, on the court. Everything about this week was insane regarding everything off of it.
Everything off of the field, off of the court, any type of news that could have been created in each of the sports was created. It was created. All the noise was buzzing.
I, I, and it was crazy because it all started happening because it all were happening at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like in the wee
Like,
hours.
in the wee hours of the morning, like exactly. It was crazy to see, like, and to wake up to.
Yeah,
Definitely, definitely. We
and
gotta we gotta get into this, man. This is
shoot,
crazy.
the good thing about working at night is the fact that I seen everything. I
Mm-hmm,
seen it all.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you're right, man. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with the NBA. So the James Harden deal finally happened. Oof, took a while, but we finally got what we wanted. James Harden traded to the Clippers. The Clippers will also get PJ Tucker. If you did not see him, you seen him in Wednesday night's game. The Sixers get Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, and a 2026 Clippers first round pick via Oklahoma City, a 2028 Clippers first round pick, two second round picks, and one pick swap.
Mm.
Kyle, what do we think about this trade?
You know, actually, again, wee hours of the morning when it happened, waking up to that, definitely insane because of the talks that were going around, and we didn't actually think it was going to get done. There was still like a little bit of trepidations on Clipper side, on Philly side. Luckily, finally, they came to a deal. Clippers got Jay Harden. Um, it's definitely a sight to see. It's going to be a sight to see. Like that's a big four-man squad, and
Yeah,
to see how they gel, to see how Russell's going to be, because Russell's been playing absolutely great. For the Clipper organization, completely revamped his career, in my opinion. I think really got that respect back. Um, and then it's to see how James Harden's going to fit in because he wanted to go back to Houston and he wanted to be old Houston James Harden. But then now you're coming into this type of situation with you got Kawhi, you got Paul George. Like, them two they need the ball in their hands as well to make
right.
something happen. So, but in terms of facilitating, in terms of floor general, James Harden, he's going to do that for him. He's going to space that floor out. Hopefully it's not going to be so much ISO ball no more. You know what I mean? Like that I think that's going to be one of the biggest things. How can Harden actually use his talents? And it's not even like he needs to score. He could be a third, fourth option at this point
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So I just think this is his last chance, though. This is his last chance. This is his last chance to actually, like, you know, clear his name, clear the air, and go and get a chip. Go and get a chip.
Yeah.
Like it's time. It's time. Like you have the most perfect squad around you. You got arguably the best coach in basketball in Ty Lue, and it's time. It's time. Like don't play around. Like no more playing around. Let's go win and let's make something happen. Let's make something happen, and don't force your way out of this situation too. Because if he does, I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I'm done with him
Yeah.
if he does. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah. No, everything you said, I agree with. He is gonna space the floor out more. I like this better for him because he does become more of a facilitator. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to take on the scoring responsibility as much as he had to, like he
Mm-hmm.
did in Philly. Being the second guy now, he could be that third, fourth option. You know what I mean? We're not gonna lean on you unless we have to lean on you, type of
Exactly.
guy. And yeah, no, he's able to space the floor out because yes, even though he probably doesn't shoot it as well as he used to, he still shoots it well enough where you have to respect it, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
he's still I don't care what anybody says, he's still one of the best ISO guys in the league right now,
Mm-hmm.
clearly. And yeah, no, this is going to be very interesting to see because I like you. I love how Russ has revamped himself.
Mm-hmm.
possibly even like you said, his career, maybe even. He just fits this squad well because
Yeah.
they needed someone, to be able to penetrate the gaps and stuff like and get in those lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's able to do that with Paul George able to do his thing, when he's able to ISO guys at the top like he was doing against the Lakers last night. He was basically like, picking those guys apart. And yeah, no, I like the trade. I think the trade is good for both teams, in my opinion. The
I
Sixers
think
get
so
back
too. Yeah.
the Sixers get back some pretty good pieces as well. Nothing, to go crazy about, but something I think that could fit well around this team. Like obviously they're not going to be in the same position as they were beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
talking about going to the Eastern Conference Finals and nothing like that. But you know, uh it's also going to be interesting to see how they fare well because I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid is starting to get, he's getting antsy, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously teams are starting to notice that, especially the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks. So the Knicks are, you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure
Oh, don't let the Knicks
they're
get
gonna keep a
Joel Embiid, man.
they're gonna keep a very, very, very close eye on this one. So yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting because I think it's gonna be one of those situations like Golden State's right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is James gonna have to come off the bench? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's that, or I don't think Russ is gonna have to come off the bench. I think Russ has proven that he can't come off the bench on this
Yeah.
team, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I think James is gonna have to lead that second unit, or if they want to, they could play all four, and then someone's just gonna have to sit. Like
I
one of
was
the
just
two are
about to
gonna have to
say
sit
that, yeah.
early. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's
That's
gonna
a
be very
scary five, though.
interesting.
In terms of like on paper, that's a very, very scary five, man. Russ
Yeah.
at the point, you got James Harden at the point, or whoever you can switch them out. They're interchangeable. Then you got Kawhi and Paul 3 and 4, and then you got Zubac at the five. Like that's scary.
hmm
That's scary.
Yeah, no, that's big time. That's gonna
But
be big time.
the true question is can it work? And late in the season, are they going to be healthy enough to to make it work again?
Yeah.
Like that's what I think that's going to be the biggest question. That's the
That's
biggest
yeah,
question.
yeah, easily. That's going to be the biggest question because everybody that you if you've been watching basketball basically since this team has got together, everybody knows that their biggest question is their health
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because they've had so many chances where they've had so many seasons where we came in where like no, that's the team right there. That's the team of the West. You know what I mean? That's the team that we believe is going to make it out. Next
mm-hmm,
thing you know, they end up falling short because Kawhi's not there for the longest time. Then Paul George goes out for whatever he goes out for. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, no, they just have to stay healthy. As long as they stay healthy, they could be on a crash course to at least get into the Western Conference Finals and then seeing whether that be the Lakers, the Suns, the Nuggets, the Warriors, even. Yeah, no, they could see the West is too deep for us to even
Way
sit
too
here and try
deep.
to
Way
calculate
too
who they
deep.
would even see,
Mm-hmm.
especially at this time because everyone's obviously fresh. But yeah, no, it's gonna be good to see. It's gonna be good to see for the Clippers.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see him on the court. I thought it was crazy though, like how, from the game on Wednesday, how I was like, wait a minute, why is James Harden not playing? But PJ Tucker just came in. He automatically playing.
Yeah, no, but I think you know what else it is too. I think it's PJ's been playing.
Yes, you're right.
James hasn't
James
played.
Harden, you're right. He hasn't been playing. Like he took that 10 days off like right before the season started. Yeah.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
And then
He got
after
to get
that,
back into the swing of things.
correct. And then also, having to learn a new system and stuff like that. Because PJ Tucker is easy. PJ Tucker is, your 3-and-D guy. So you
Hmm.
just basically have him on
You
the
could plug and
toughest
play him
guy.
anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. You can just have him on your toughest guy on defense, and then on offense, you just basically have him in either corner,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then also setting screens, obviously. But yeah, no, that I think that's basically the reason why just making sure James is more acclimated because he's gonna have a bigger role, obviously, than
Yes.
PJ Tucker.
Yes.
But yeah, but yeah, no. It's been a pretty cool week in the NBA.
I love
The
it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
the Lakers finally beat the Clippers for like the first time since my birthday in 2020.
Oh my God.
Yes, since I turned 22, I'm now 25. So 3 years later, they finally, they, we finally we finally broke the curse. Everybody, hip hip hooray!
Yeah,
But
it only took age 39, age 38 LeBron James playing 42 minutes OT to do it. But
They should
That's
have won
that.
it. They should have won in the fourth, but that's whatever. As long as you
That's
got the
neither
win at
here
this
nor
point.
there. That's neither
Yeah,
here nor there.
yeah. No, the Knicks had a very interesting back to back with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They had
Mm-hmm.
won. They had won the first night easily, 109 to 91. But then after that, ended up losing at home, 95 to 89. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, Donovan Mitchell just went to work on them with 30
He did.
points.
He damn sure did. It was definitely a tough like back to back. You probably
Yeah,
back to backs are always tough. Like especially when you get into like the later like the later quarters because you might be fresh and you might be ready and you might be like what I'm saying real antsy to get it going. You might be
right.
fresh in the first two quarters, but then that tiredness is going to hit and that's all just happened with the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, they I this next team they just have to find themselves honestly,
Mm-hmm.
especially the shooting wise.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of low on the shooting.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson kind of has to get back into his groove. Randall, shoot, you could put up a wonder sign for him because he's missing completely, completely.
That man is he about to build me a house over here. Like I swear, like all them
Oh,
bricks he putting up.
swear to you, every time I see his stat line, it's like three for like 14 or something like that. And
Couldn't skip a rock in the ocean. Like I don't
it's
understand it.
it sucks to see because I'm like, dude, like he's better than this, obviously. We've
Exactly.
seen it, we've seen it, but it just, oh god, it just, yeah, it gets under my skin right now. But
It's tough. It's tough. It really is tough.
yeah, no, but we still have a long season to go, so he'll be fine too. But
Mhm.
yeah, let's move on. The NFL didn't have
NFL,
no
baby.
shortage of craziness either. The trade deadline was on Tuesday,
Hmm.
and a good amount of moves were made. So Leonard Williams of the Giants was moved over to the Seattle Seahawks. What was he moved over for? Because I forgot to put that in my notes.
It
What picks did
was
he?
a second rounder and a fifth rounder, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Still
not
to this,
it wasn't like it was they got good compensation for him, like because you
right?
know how the NFL draft is. You could find a good pick
You
in
can
the
find.
third, fourth, fifth round. So they
Hmm.
got good compensation for him. Kind of sad that he's gone because he was really like he was a big anchor on the defensive end.
Yeah,
And I loved like seeing him play. But I think it was time. Ain't nothing really going on in the Giants organization to go home like just to be excited about.
yeah.
It was
No, so
time.
they
It was
just,
time.
yeah. No, so it's just time to unload somebody, and he was
Mm-hmm.
probably like their biggest piece that they could possibly move, I guess, at this point.
Yes. Yes.
Understandable. But yeah, no, the Commanders they went back to back. They traded Montez Sweat to Chicago for excuse me, a 2024 second round pick. And then they traded Chase Young to San Francisco for a third round pick,
Mm.
which is
As if that defense
insane.
wasn't already scary though. Like in like Chase Claypool, I mean not Chase Claypool. I'm sorry, Chase Young coming there. Like that's he over there with Bosa and the crew. That's gonna be crazy, man. That's gonna be
Yeah, not
crazy.
and him and Bosa were teammates,
Mhm.
at Ohio State. So yeah, no, that's gonna be something.
It is.
Yeah, no, San Francisco they seen the problems that they had. Basically, their defense wasn't holding up as much as they used to because they play more man now, I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
on the earlier downs, and that's why they've been getting exposed so much lately. And basically the rush just can't get there on those
Mm-hmm.
early downs. That's the problem. So, adding Chase Young in there and being able to have someone who could stop both the run and the pass
Yes.
is really good. So yeah, no, I think it's gonna set San Francisco off now. I think they're gonna reset back into who they were.
I don't. Yeah, like after losing that three straight, like I think that they'll get back into the swing of things. He's really gonna actually like turn them up a little bit more. Hopefully, be an energizer bunny on the defensive end. Get them off the field faster. That way, Brock Purdy could, Debo and C-Mac could do what they need to do.
Right, yeah. Also, it helps the fact that they have a bye this week, so
Yes, exactly. Yes,
win-win right there,
yes,
So
yes.
everybody can get, used to each other and everything. So, I like that. I like that trade for them. They think they low key got a steal, in my opinion.
I think so too. I think so too,
Yeah.
man.
I
Yeah,
think they could have. I think what's it called? San Francisco really wanted to. They could have given him up for. They could have got him for like well, excuse me. If the Commanders really wanted to, they could have asked for like maybe another pick or so. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, I like it though. Moving on, Detroit. trades a 6th round 2025 pick for Donovan Peoples-Jones. He wasn't really doing much on Cleveland anyway, so they
Yeah,
might
he
as
went.
well unload him for something. The Cardinals traded Josh Dobbs and a 2024 7th round pick to the Vikings for a 2024 6th round pick. The Vikings indeed needed this after losing Kirk Cousins,
Mhm. Mhm.
which obviously sucks for them. But yeah, no, Josh Dobbs in the new system. We'll see how that goes. I know he's not starting this weekend. Their rookie starting. I think his name is like Jaron Hall or something like that, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. But yeah, no, new look for the Vikings. So be on the lookout for that. And the Raiders. Yeah, the
Oh
Raiders
man,
are.
oh man.
So after their Monday night game, clearly the team was not going in the direction that they thought that they'd be going into, and the owner Mark, I think, yeah, the owner Mark
Mark
Davis just
Davis.
decided that it was time. They fired head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler. Um, just to read out some stats, in each game this season, the Raiders have scored 21 points or less, but for fewer than 100 yards and recorded at least one turnover.
Awful. Awful. I wouldn't
Not a
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Josh McDaniels back with New England or something. like,
Yeah, yeah, no, easily, easily.
like,
I think someone on ESPN has said, yeah, watch out.
mhm.
I forgot who Bill O'Brien. They were like, watch out, Bill
Yeah,
O'Brien.
yeah.
Josh McDaniels is coming back, which he's basically gonna have to because their offense can't do anything either. But yeah, no, that was crazy to read because it was funny because even like Adam Scheffner and like Ian Rappaport, usually they'll get like the news first and they'll drop it. But
hmm
instead, it was the Rangers that just dropped the press release basically in the middle of the night, and then they were like, "All right, you guys do what you will with that."
I know, and I think it's important that Mark Davis really takes his time trying to find a new hire. Really find a coach that can be there long term, and like is really like committed is not the word. I don't want to say committed, but just find a coach that will actually work in whatever system that he can build for that team and that
Ye-
organization.
Yeah, I was it face Antonio Pierce, if I'm not mistaken, his name is. Hold on.
Yes, he
Yes,
was an
Antonio
assistant.
Pierce.
Yep.
He was assistant. Uh, for all the Giants fans out there, you guys obviously know who he is. He won the Super Bowl with the Giants back when it was when they won against the Patriots, against their undefeated Patriots team. And yeah, no, he's now the interim head coach, and he even said that he's more of a players coach, so he's going to try to obviously relate more to the players and everything. He said, and it was basically that was something that Josh McDaniels just wasn't, and you could kind of tell too, like
You can see that. Yeah.
yeah, like he just wasn't connecting with any of them. Devontae Adams wanted more touches. He would get touches, but they wouldn't be, the right touches, in my opinion. They weren't using him the right way. Jacoby Myers was, I don't know, I don't think that they used him the right way either, even though that he was getting majority of the touches and obviously the red zone opportunities. But yeah, no, the whole offense just didn't look right to me, in my opinion, especially for Josh McDaniels, who is supposed to be, an offensive guru apparently, but it's all starting to come back to, I guess it was all just Tom Brady at this point. But
Exactly. Exactly. It's really crazy though too, because each like everybody that has left New England, like coaches wise, Joe Judge, Matt Patricia, Josh McDaniels, like
they've all basically had to
I think
call.
their
They've all,
combined record, their season is 13 and 33, if I'm not mistaken.
including this season.
Yes, like I'm talking about I could have the numbers wrong. Don't quote me on it. But I'm just saying, I think like just in terms of how in the last couple of years, like 13 and 33, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, no, for basically three coaches that come from arguably the greatest NFL coach of all time that we've all been implementing on Coach Bill Belichick. It's insane to me because we could say that about Nick Saban because every time you see Nick Saban's assistants go out there, what do they do? They're able to carry out programs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then, like you said, the Matt Patricias, the Joe Judge, the Josh McDaniels, they're not able to go on ahead and lead their own team
They
themselves. So
you can't. It's like they can't take what Bill Belichick has taught them and translate that to another organization. I feel like
yeah,
they maybe just be a little too rigid and thinking and trying to bring in Bill's system because that's all they know. Like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just it is what it is. We'll see what happens with Josh McDaniels. I don't think he should be a head coach anymore. Keep him as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think he's outlasted his coaching opportunities after what's it called being with the Denver Broncos for like what
Mm,
only a couple of years, and then he was with the Colts for like literally like a total of like 8 hours and some change
hmm
at one point. I
hmm
think I think it was the Colts if I'm not mistaken, and then yeah to the Raiders. You know, he literally been the Raiders were basically non-existent with him as a head coach. So yeah, no, but it's the Raiders fans were right. Yeah, it was time to fire McDaniels, and
It was
yeah, they
time.
got
It
him
was
up out of
definitely
there.
time. It was definitely time.
They got him up out of there. But we have some more news to talk about. So for everybody that knows, yes, in college football, we usually go by the AP polls, but it starts to get to we've officially come to playoff, the college football
hmm
playoffs polls now, which I am very excited for because things kind of took a turn. I
They
didn't
definitely did.
I did not expect for the committee to put Ohio State number one
I know
over
that was
Georgia.
that was that was a little surprising, but I can see the justification because Ohio State beat Notre Dame and they beat Penn State. Who has Georgia beaten?
Yeah. Even though Georgia is coming down to their gauntlet
hmm
right now, um, with coming up with Ole Miss is coming up.
I was just
They
about
have
to say, yeah, you
Tennessee
got Ole
coming
Miss
up.
next, right?
Yeah, yeah, they have. Oh no, Missouri. Then they have Ole Miss. Then they have Tennessee,
Yes,
and then
yes.
they have Georgia Tech. Who Georgia Tech is obviously a wild card, as we've seen with games like they play with against like Miami and playing games close against who else did they beat? I think they beat North Carolina if I'm not mistaken too.
hmm
And also yes, and also being North Carolina and staying close with the yeah. So yeah, no, they and staying close with teams like Louisville. So yeah, no, they Georgia doesn't have it easy, and also they're missing their best player in Brock Bowers. So it's really gonna be interesting to see how they respond to that. Um, Michigan falling to number three. Everybody says
Hey, they
obviously
better
it's
be
not
careful.
everybody's saying it's obviously not because of the sign stealing because obviously it can't be it's a NCAA thing, it's not a
Yeah,
college football
yeah.
playoff ranking thing.
hmm
So yeah, no, but yeah, no, they haven't really played anybody themselves, but they're starting to come up into that point where they're going to start playing Penn State, and they're going to see Ohio State obviously at the end. So yeah, no, it's going to be very very interesting to see who goes where and who does what.
No, no, no. I completely agree with you. It was definitely a turn to see Ohio State as number one, man. I was shocked. I was shocked, but I think it's deserved. I think it's
Yeah,
deserved.
yeah,
Just
as a
in terms of the landscape that's going on right now this year, um, you got to always give Georgia their respect, back-to-back national champions and whatnot. But Ohio State just doing their thing this year, man. They are the best team. They are the
yeah.
best team.
Yeah, no, easily. Uh, yeah, man, it's pretty cool to see right now how they like ranked all this stuff because Alabama's at 8, but Texas at 7. Texas is at 7 because of their head-to-head matchup that they won. So yeah, no, I like the fact that they've based it off of that. They're
hmm
also basing it off of a strength of schedule as of right now because if Georgia goes on to beat Missouri on
hmm
Saturday. Does Georgia get that top spot now?
hmm
You know
hmm
what I mean? It's one of those. So yeah, no, it's all gonna be about who beats who, who has who coming up. That all of that stuff still comes into play, and yeah, I just can't wait to see how all this plays out, honestly. And it's
Me
the
too.
last year of the four, it's last year of the 14 because next year we're going to 12.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You know,
That's gonna be something, man. I can't wait for
yeah.
that. I can't wait for that.
Now that's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, this is gonna be something.
We got a
Just
good week coming up this week though. I'll tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
that. This
I,
weekend.
I, I was just about to talk. I was just about to get into that. Ohio State has Rutgers. I guess the people have been noticing Rutgers because they kind of have. I have some people with Ohio State being on upset watch, and I understand it.
I
I do
understand it
understand
too.
it.
Rutgers been doing their thing this year, man. They've been
Hmm.
doing their thing.
And if it turns into a defensive battle, obviously I believe Ohio State will have the edge with just having Marcin Harrison Jr.,
I think,
but
yeah.
I wouldn't count out Rutgers though. I wouldn't
No,
count out Rutgers at all.
Women's been playing like a man possessed.
Yeah,
Man
no, he's
possessed.
he's he's been able. He's shown that he could play both on the ground and in the air,
Mm-hmm.
which is huge. And having a dual threat quarterback like that. But yeah, no, moving on. Notre Dame and Clemson. Did
That's
you
gonna
you
be a
see
good
what
one.
you see what you see what Davos said to that kid that called into like his podcast or something like that, or
Yes,
his radio
yes,
show?
yes,
So
yes.
so basically, when me and Kyle talked about Clemson that first week when they played Duke, and we
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, like you need to get into the transfer portal. Basically, everybody's been saying the same thing because right now Clemson is at 4-4, and they lost their last two. They lost to Miami and they lost to North Carolina State. And now they have Notre Dame coming up, who's the number 15 team, and they look to be finding themselves right now. So
Mm-hmm.
that's obviously not going to be a gimme. But yeah, no, Dabo Sweeney was basically mad at a kid for calling him out for basically not going after players in the transfer portal, which is something everybody has basically been telling him to do.
He's not adapting with the times that are here now, and all of these kids that have been going through the transfer portal, you could have easily snagged some of those guys up, easily. And the fact that you didn't, like, that just shows, like, to me, that just shows your lack of
Yeah,
adaptability. And it's
yeah,
like you're not willing to work with the kids also,
yeah, yeah.
in my opinion, because
It's
you're not willing to give them a chance, and you're not even looking, or you don't really care, and then you're condemning the transfer portal, like, just so, in my opinion, you're just condemning it a little too much.
Yeah, like if someone like Nick Saban, who's turning like 71 or like 72 or something like that, if he can adapt to the transfer portal, why can't you? Who's like 20 years younger than him? You know what I mean? Like someone
And
that
it
you would believe that could obviously relate to the players more. You know
mm-hmm,
what I mean? Especially
mm-hmm,
somebody who who came in as the lowest paid college coach when he first started at Clemson, getting
mm-hmm.
all the way up to here. And then obviously Clemson always having the expectations of being one of those top teams because you were that for the past 6 to 7 years.
But then but the thing was you were so heavily reliant on, like, building the guys up, or, like, having them from freshman to their
Just
senior
did
year, or if they
junior
play a
senior
fifth year,
year.
they play a fifth year. You were
Yeah.
worried. He's worried about, like, the building of that, and, like, the continuity and the continuation, but he's not just actively going out and trying to, like, just essentially snag these players up.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like we're telling you to snag, a whole team like Colorado, like
Exactly.
Colorado had to, but it's more so that we just want you just need to plug in the holes. You just need to plug in the gaps. Okay, I might need a veteran wide receiver here. I might need a veteran, lineman here. I might need a veteran defensive end here, or like a safety or something like that. That's what the transfer portal really is all about. It's not even
That's what
about,
it's for. That's what it's
even like,
there
yeah,
for.
yeah, it's literally just completing your team.
Mm-hmm.
It's to complete the missing holes in the team. That's literally what that's there for. But if he doesn't want to use it, that's on him. He'll see how that plans out for him, as it's been planning out pretty badly for him for like the last 2 years. But
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, no, moving on. Uh, some good games. 3:30. You have like Georgia and Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, the in-state rivalry that they got going on over there. Penn State going to Maryland. That's gonna be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
7:30. You got Purdue and Michigan. You also got Washington going to USC.
So glad you brought that up.
You got
That's a game right there.
LSU and Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
or Oregon State and Colorado. So yeah, no, action-packed Saturday for sure.
Very, very much action-packed Saturday. I can't wait to tune in. I that I'm putting a little alarm on for that Washington USC game. Michael Penix and Caleb Williams. That's big. That's
Yeah, it's
big.
gonna be a show, especially because after Washington's win against Oregon, they've kind of been rocky lately. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be it's gonna be very interesting to see how they get up for this one, especially being away down in Southern Cal.
And even, like, they're ranked number 5 now too. Like, they right there. They right there with Florida State. Like, let's be honest, they right there.
Yeah, yeah, no, as long as they
So,
keep winning, and they at least keep themselves on the outside looking in, then
Hmm.
they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think because obviously one of the Ohio States and Michigan are going to slip up because they have to play each other. Obviously, you never know if Georgia's going to slip up, and you still don't know if Florida State's going to slip up, even though
Hmm.
Florida State looks really strong right now.
Really
But
good. Yeah.
but yeah, no. This week and in the weeks coming, a lot of changing in the college football playoff rankings for sure. Best believe it. Best believe it. But yeah, no, that's the end of our show for this week. Once again, as always, thank you all for coming in to check us out and to tuning in. As usual, you already know I'm your host, Cam Silver.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
Oh yeah, and this is the Silver Voice Podcast. Blessings to you all.
Thank you. Thank you.